Namaskar. We would like to welcome you all at our 1296th milestone of AYUSH SAMRIDDHI, the continuous river of the knowledge. Thank you. Thank you very much for joining us today also. I would like to welcome our speakers, both the speakers as well as Professor Vishnu Prasad Sharma ji for his welcome address. Respected Vishnu Prasad Sharma.
Namaskar, Hari Om, good evening to everybody. Respected distinguished guests, eminent speaker, ladies and gentlemen. I, Professor Dr. Vishnu Prasad Sharma, welcome all of you to AYUSH SAMRIDDHI International Conference Series on NGO for AYUSH Development. So in this webinar, we have eminent speaker. I want to welcome Dr. Suparna Sanyal Mukherjee, Associate Professor in HOD, Department of Education, School of Humanities, Sikkim Skill University, Bolpur. Namaskar, madam, and welcome you to this AYUSH Samriddhi webinar. Next, I want to welcome Dr. Soikat Kumar Basu, Executive Research Director, Performance Seat, Lethbridge, Alberta, Canada. Namaskar, sir, and welcome you to this AYUSH Samriddhi webinar. Once again, I welcome all the eminent speaker, guest speaker, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, to this AYUSH Samriddhi webinar, NGO for AYUSH Development. Namaskar, thank you. Over to Pavanji.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. I would like to welcome Professor V.K. Agnihotri, sir, for his preamble, and then Neha Bhattji from Kenya, Nishantji from Jamnagar, and our speakers. So, Professor
Thank you.
Agnihotri.
Thank you, Professor Pawan Sharma ji. Thank you very much. And we are here again with a very new topic. Of course, it's a very practical topic, we should say. And not only in India, I think all over the world. That the role itself of NGO in so many ways and means for the execution of all the government plannings and policies. Government is there to check out the policies in a very welfare of his own citizen, his own population, but to make its execution, it's completely not possible by the government machinery or the government departments. So it needs other persons, associations, organizations, and support which are capable to take the such type of policies and its benefit to the outreach persons to the remotest area of the country or to the state. There may be a state government of any political party or any system, maybe the government or president rule, but the policies execution is equally important throughout country and throughout year. So having the policies in principles, getting allocated the money about budget for the execution of it, even then the human power or the local NGOs type organizations have got a very vital role to make its execution. Not only in case of Ayush or health department, so many social activities, so many social policies are there to make the society or the population, our citizen, much more healthy and happy and prosperous and literate one, educated one. So many policies are always running, led by government, and NGOs are playing a wonderful, vital role in between the say citizen and government itself. So NGO has got very good role, and here equally the role of NGOs in the execution and better performance of the government policies with special reference to AYUSH is very vital, very important. So we are going to listen from our guest speakers that how NGOs are playing their role for the betterment of the whole of the city and whole of the population, along with the theme and the say I should say the sankalp and the manorath of government be executed. With these words, I also welcome the guest speakers to have good information, good knowledge out of their experience to our platform. Thank you so much, and over to your subcommission. Namaskar.
Thank you very much, sir. Now I would like to request Dr. Suparna Sanyal Mukherjee ji. Dr. Suparna Sanyal Mukherjee, madam. You are most welcome.
Very good evening.
Very good evening. Very, very good.
Thank you to the AYUSH Samriddhi platform to giving me such an opportunity to say something about the NGO and AYUSH. And first, I would like to say that your, prayer song was very good, and really, it's very nice. You have sang one there. Thank you very much. So today's topic is impact non-governmental or NGO and AYUSH for nation building. Non-governmental organization, the NGO has a very vital role and impact for the nation building. Today's where the different opportunities are provided by the government sector, but those opportunities are not reaching to the grassroots level, the actual users. So NGO is the mediator, or we can say the accelerator, which can take part in the society formation or the work of this society, but it is a make the work done very easily. But various sectors, people doesn't understand what is the NGO, why it is happening, why NGO is working. There there is no notice, there is malinterpretation, there is no connotation, there is nothing, is the conceptual development is not there. So that's why NGO is not working properly for this the private sector and public sector. Basically, it has been observed that the socio-economic aspect, the socio-cultural aspect, socio-political aspect, socio-religious aspect, everything is covered by this NGO. There is some logic behind in this regard. What is that logic? The logic is that in most South Asian countries, especially the Indian countries, and the same time there is several countries like there is some corruption is happening in every sector of life. In this corruption, how this corruption has broadly eaten up the vitals of the societal group. And the outline readers, along with the observers of India, South Asia, are well aware of this corruption. So they are not performing enough because there is a several sector, there is a grassroots level work where the NGO can enter into there. And at the same time, I myself also form NGO and running an NGO, and being a secretary of that NGO, I am facing so much of problem to doing the better work, because when doing the NGO is a congruent effort, it's not what we want to do the work, the people are not giving us such opportunity to get into the people's side, or the villages, or the rural side, or the urban sector. So NGO's work is it's a various vast area where the people can involve, where we can involve, where we can develop the people participations, at the same time the people development. And it is a clear observation which has been exhibited that the people around us are fully corruptible in nature. Thereby, the development process is in utter dismay and utter dolesome also. So, nation building is constructing of the nation and the structuring of the nation, especially the national identity, using the national identity, especially in the sports sector, in the economic sector, in the cultural sector, in the political sector, and everywhere. It is a very corruptible, and there is no scope to enter into the actual persons. What has happened, now it has been observed that there is a tribal society. Those tribal society, there is they have the indigenous technology. They are very rich in their technology. They are very much competent enough with the technology, but they don't have the economic back. Economic back, that is the main problem. That's they are confined to the another religion to get the better opportunities. So in this way, the tribal community is getting extinct and they are endangered. But the NGO has the power to do this work on this beside of this government, or with the government, and with the help out of the government. But there is so many steps. You should have the 18, you should have the 12, you should have the registered society registration, and now it is the Niti Aayog Darpan. Niti Aayog Darpan is also the national platform, the Planning Commission of India. You have to be registered on that. It is a good ideological point of view, and the government policy making is a very good aspect for that. And the recent times CSR, corporate social responsibility, which the act has come out in the 2013, where the NGOs are giving priority, and where the all the companies, they should share their 2% of their profit to the NGOs for the betterment of the life. So it's a vast country like India. It is not possible to government to go into the every sector, every part of this human being, or the every societies, the remote areas. But if the government can give the opportunity to the NGO to do the work, so there is the employment should have been generated, because NGO Act is it is a non-profiting organization. You cannot profit itself through this NGO activities. So if you can, if the NGO can get the opportunity to do the work with the presence of the government, with the help of the from the government, so it will be very easy enough to get into the public as such. So at the same time, there are the 29 states. There is the several NGOs over there, and the non-government organization help in the development as a macro perspectives, in the micro perspectives, while the educational institution, then the context, social culture, and the socio-cultural transformation, the NGO taking part is the leading part for this economic, social, and cultural development. At the same time, if we can look into the matter, that the way of corruption level perch up the throughout the country, the development process sometimes get badly throttled out immediately. So in the process of NGO's activity, the NGO can take charge of the country's development so far as nation building is concerned, thereby paving the way for unlimited success of the country. The NGO's collaboration in the educational, social, cultural, socio-cultural, socio-economical, socio-political, at the same time, the IUS, the medico-legal aspects. It's also be covered by this NGO. So we can boast into that the NGO is have the better opportunity, and moreover, there is a 2 years NGO management course where it has been giving the education how to manage this NGO. So everywhere we can explore through the NGO, and the NGO can get into the intricate places, intricate sites. There is a village where the village there is nothing, is the water system was not there, so the people can get the water only one fountain. So it is now at this 21st century, the system is happening, system is going on. So the people are in really endangered. There is a place which is known as the Patal Court. So the people living in the 1,000 feet from the surface of the plane surface of our system. So they are not getting any kinds of speciality, any kinds of facilities, any kinds of education, any kinds of economic sector. So all are amalgamated with the problems and problems. So to solve the problems, the NGO have the better platform to explore and to eradicate such problems and to explore into the intricate and the deep, in-depth exploration of the work. And the Ayush has the very good platform. So Ayush, because they are living in the forest, clad areas, the semi-forest clad areas, the forest fringe, wherever they are living, so they can explore the Ayush, that's the medicinal plants. So when they're, if they can explore the medicinal plants, so it will be the economic backbone. They can develop the economic backbone. And NGO is not the one only single person activities. It's the activities of the conjoint effort. So if we can conjointly do some work for this betterment of the livelihood sustenance, so our nation could have been built up is a strong way. So, in today's scenario in India and its states, it is noticed that the role of all NGOs in both ways is gaining paramount importance, and the reasons behind it is none other than an erosion of social and moral values. So, on account of the reason behind the fact that the corruption is badly eating up the basic fabric of our social and cultural setup. Hence, the necessity of having NGOs is gaining paramount importance at the same time, the present juncture, and also in the future positivism of the nation for edification. So, in that case, Ayush have the preference and privilege to eradicate the socio-economic, to eradicate the disease, the health hazard, and develop the people for the socio-economical and the healthy status, healthy people for betterment of life, to sustain in the sustainability, to develop the sustainability and betterment of life for nation building is very good, very important for that. And what has happened, in COVID-19 situation, there is a village called Montipa, the deep inside the forest of the Poshin Medipur district, where the people couldn't get the mask. They are using mask as the leaf. They are covered their mouth with the leaf, and their social and their cultural system so rich that there is no social distancing has to be maintained, because their houses are just 5 feet away from one another house, and they are living their social system so rich that they are not maintaining the congestion. They are living the social, they are maintaining the social distance according to their norms, regulations, and tradition. So if we can respect our tradition, if we can respect our culture, if we can respect our social stability and the cultural heritage, we are so rich about it. The Indian culture is so rich. So there is a scope to develop. And the Ayush have so rich, and Ayush implementation, implications, and possibilities, probabilities is so rich that we can develop our nation with the good enough, with the healthy nation which is needed and which is required for us for the betterment of life. Thank you very much. Thanks to all to giving me such an opportunity.
Thank you, Dr. Suparna ji. Thank you very much. Nicely explained the role of NGO for health and for general. Agnihotri sir.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you, ma'am. Really, the viewpoint of our today's webinar topic is itself the same, that how the NGO can lead and perform its role in expansion of the services related to Ayush department led by the government. Really, it works as a machinery and takes the impression and all the aims and objectives along with the material to the remotest area where the lack of education is there, financial shortage is there, slum areas where the sanitation hygienic conditions are also not there. They make a team and work simultaneously, and involve the participation of the residents of that area also. In that way, it becomes a helpful that area resident to the NGOs workers, and this is a way to make a communication for the really launching of such type of project and services. Thank you so much, ma'am. Your approach is wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, sir. Now I would like to request Dr. Sakat Kumar Basu, my dear friend. Are you in Calcutta, Dr. Sakat?
I am in Calcutta right now. Yes, yes, visiting Kolkata.
I am also for next 3 days.
Okay, we'll meet then. Very good. Thank you very much. It's a
Okay,
great opportunity. Yeah,
welcome.
welcome. Thank you. It's once again a great opportunity for me to be present on the Ayush platform. And I would like to take an opportunity to thank for inviting me time and again to be a part of your team. So it's very honorable, and I look forward to more collaborations in future too. So today is World NGO Day, and one of the most important things for us to understand that NGO means non-government organization. So why do we need such non-government organizations on the first place? It is because nowhere in the world it is possible for the government to cater to the service of the public exclusively. Unless it's a very small island nation country or a country with very small population, there is no part of this planet today that is not worked upon by various NGOs at different fields. As Madam Suparna Mukherjee has so nicely explained the various aspects of NGOs and their challenges and their problems. If we take an example of NGO engagement in our neighboring Bangladesh, Bhutan, Nepal, even Pakistan, we will be amazed to note how much NGO initiatives has been working upon in these nations. And not only it is facilitating various government projects to in many areas where the government has not been able to establish their own infrastructure, the NGOs are taking the responsibility of taking the government initiative and the government projects or the government fundings to the people at the very verge end or at very challenging remote areas or isolated areas where the government has not been able to reach successfully to cater to those citizens. Bangladesh in particular is a country where the NGOs have come out as an outstanding model of work, because Bangladesh has one, or I think they have two of the world's biggest NGOs operating in Bangladesh, and they have been operating very successful for over the last 20-25 years, and they have become an integrated part of their economy. One of the Nobel Prize winner for Bangladesh, and the sole Nobel Prize winner for Bangladesh, Muhammad Yunus, with which I am very closely associated, has started his initiative of microcrediting or starting to initiate small loans among poor backward communities in Bangladesh, and later it transformed into a global micro credit union representative where small loans are given to self-help groups, particularly women groups, and they work together, and they are funded with small seed money to buy animals or livestock or start a new project and initiatives. They are given loans from those groups, and over the time the people working on those schemes return the loan back, and they form big communities, and it has been established economic empowerment of rural Bangladesh very successfully, and he was awarded Nobel Prize for this outstanding microcredit concept in economics, where small seed money could transform an economy, was unheard of, and it has been extensively used now in Bangladesh and adjoining areas. There is a Grameen Bank which is operating even in Bangladesh, which is a non-government organization outside and has been very successfully operating. Similar things have been happening in Nepal, Bhutan, Sri Lanka, and other smaller countries in and around India. Even in Pakistan, there are several initiatives and organizations, particularly non-government, that has done outstanding work. One of the very famous NGO operating in Pakistan has been I cannot remember the name on the top of my head, of a gentleman who did an extensive work by working for the poorest of the poor in Bangladesh, in particular in Pakistan, and particularly for those sections. I think it's called Lodhi community or something like that. But they have done an outstanding transformation for kids who are not being taken care of, kids who are orphans, who have been left away from the family, or who has run away from the family, or has no place to go, no parents alive, or has been abandoned by their parents, or has lost parents in some kind of an accident. So they have done outstanding work across Pakistan, which is an politically unstable country impacted by non-state actors and various other elements that works against the interest of the country. In spite of the fact, the NGO activities in Bangladesh and other adjoining countries, including Pakistan, has been working extensively good. Unfortunately, in India, the NGO movement has not taken the shape that it should have taken. If you look into other countries, NGOs are major players in the job market. In India, as we see, we are now the largest population of the world, and there is an essential need for the government to cater to the people, particularly to young generations, to find employment. But it is not so easy to find employment in our conventional sectors because these are saturated. Our industries, agriculture, and other adjoining opening white collar jobs, government avenues are all finite and limited. So where to find the new jobs, where we could open up new opportunities for our youngsters to work, particularly from the rural areas, particularly from the semi-urban areas where there is lack of employment, is the NGOs. There are possible, to my estimate, a large number of both Indian as well as foreign or overseas NGOs working in India. Recently, there has been initiatives taken by the government of India in banning or stopping the foreign aid for many NGOs, particularly of foreign origin operating in India, where the government has indicated that they have been working against the interest of the country. But other than these negative experiences, there are a large number of NGOs, particularly Red Cross to Ramakrishna Mission to Bharat Sevashram Sangha to various other institutes and organizations are working in various sectors, as Madam has very nicely mentioned, in education, socio-cultural, socio-political, socio-religious areas. And NGOs could do things where the government can fail. There is a lack of trust in many areas and sectors in our country about government initiatives, about government making door-to-door campaign or making surveys. NGOs in our adjoining countries like Bangladesh, Nepal, Bhutan have done outstanding work on doing extensive survey works. Why are these surveys important? Like just our population census, we need surveys in various aspects of our life about employment, about agricultural productivity, about industrial developments, about economic, integrity and prosperity in the rural and urban areas. How many kids are going to school? How is the sex ratio with respect to boys and girls going to school is reflected in across various districts, and environmental campaigns or whatnot. Any survey is very important because it provides some reflection about the quality of the life of people, the economic integrity and empowerment of the nation, particularly the empowerment of women in the rural areas, and how things are working, whether you have clean water, whether you have latrines, whether you are still going outside for toilet activities, or you have organized toilets, or you have toilets at home, or you have public toilets in the rural areas where people are not using it. We need to know these information. It is not always possible for a government, whether it is in India or overseas, to cater and do such extensive surveys time and again across the country. It costs money. It is a logistic issue for the government, and if the government has to do, they have to do much more extensively. Whereas NGO can pick and choose their work and work across various blocks and districts and give us pictures of how these things can work. Many scientific organizations, social research organizations tie up. I myself, I am very honored to work in close collaboration with Professor Suparna Sannal Mukherjee, who heads an NGO of our own, and we have worked and integrated together in the rural areas of West Bengal, where we have been working towards integration of bee conservation and conservation of medicinal plants by rural women. The idea was that rural women have some time, particularly in the late afternoon, where there is not much for them to do because the men folk are working in the field or other activities and they have time where they can earn some money. We integrated this approach towards by growing medicinal plants on their kitchen gardens and providing them through other NGOs along with Madam to work on and release and provide them with honey boxes or honey bee boxes or Langstroth box where they can raise bees which can produce honey down the line. So the double benefit is that we are conserving our endangered medicinal plants. We are conserving both commercial honeybees as well as other native bees, butterflies, and other pollinator-friendly insects which are visiting their garden. And at the same time, by forming cooperative, the honey these rural women are generating during their lay of time could be utilized in some economic activity, tying up ecology and economy together so that they can work hand in hand and help our rural women being empowered through these activities. In many districts of southern Bengal, we have been trying to do this through my specialization on into conservation of bees and medicinal plants, and through Professor Sanal Mukherjee's expertise on anthropology and sociology. In collaboration with other NGOs, we have been trying to reach out to various village communities. Not that we have been greatly successful, but this has been well appreciated by various government agencies, and there has been support, and we are looking for partners to expand this work, particularly in West Bengal and in eastern India, where we have similar agroclimatic zones where there is possibility to grow medicinal plants and bees in an integrated fashion. And several other NGOs are also working and doing marvelous work about environmental awareness campaign, about education, about girl education, girl infanticides, and various other social evils that we need to work upon and raise awareness. Many of these NGOs hire women as a part of their staff, and sometimes it is very easy to reach out to the rural women, because if they see women are associated with these programs and projects, as you know, there is a conservative approach in many rural areas where women are not allowed to communicate with outside men. So because of Madam's cooperation, we have been able to utilize this extensively in having our women some volunteers, service providers, college and school students who work with us in close association in spreading this message of conservation and also empowerment, economic empowerment of rural women. This is just one example. Hundreds and thousands of NGOs in India are operating and doing outstandingly marvelous job in various sectors. But as Madam has mentioned, that because of lack of funding and also because of lack of voluntary action from the people, NGO movement has not received the attention that it deserves to achieve in our country, particularly in India, where there is huge opportunity for non-government organizations to work together. One of the things that I have been promoting is that there are various NGOs working in different areas or related areas. I have been requesting them to try and work on a common platform so that they can work and integrate with each other, share their expertise, share their resource person, and then they can organize conference, awareness, education, colloquium, workshops, and training sessions where they could utilize their resources of one another, and also provide a common platform for people to come and work together in providing very good training that helps in the long-term economic empowerment in various parts of West Bengal, particularly in the rural and semi-urban areas. There is a lot of opportunity, but there is a trend all over the world that the number of people who used to volunteer for NGO work, NGO needs some selfless work. While there is opportunity for people to work in NGO as a full-time job, while there is opportunity for people to find employment in various NGOs working in various field areas that you are maybe interested, it is very, very rewarding emotionally, very, very rewarding with respect to your interest. And also it brings in salaries so that it is economically supportive, but at the same time it is also catering to the people, it is reaching out to the people in large numbers. But one of the challenges that I have figured out in West Bengal and India, it has been lack of coordination among various NGOs. Say for example, two different NGOs working on the same area within the same locality may be actually overutilizing their resources. Had they known each other, had there been a common platform where they could reach out to one another, exchange exchange, for which I mean that if we could have like a government generated friendly app through which various NGOs registered in India could work together, and they are clustered according to various groups or organization or their kinds of services that they're providing, it would have been very easy for these NGO members with their addresses and contacts to reach one another, and maybe they could work, or if they're working in the similar areas, similar location, similar topics, similar engagements, they could share resources and it could become even more fruitful. They could do more extensive surveys because of sharing of resources, having more ground level workers or field workers to add or aid to their organization. Sometimes it is also easier to get funding, whether from the government or other non-government corporate sectors. If 2 or 3 NGOs are working on a particular areas, it helps in building up. Like I have found success in integrating with other NGOs to come together and share knowledge, share your experience, and share your resources in fruitfully organizing a campaign. I also request others to try and follow the same model in the which different NGOs can come together on a common issues and work together under comprehensive banner. This would not only help in reaching the targets much more easily, but it will be a more comprehensive ground survey, more comprehensive way of reaching out to the rural youth or the rural women in a much integrated fashion, and the lack of success could be increased significantly, because some may have more a new NGO may have started working and they do not have contacts in the rural areas, and similarly an experienced NGO may have been working for the last 10 years in those particular areas. If these 2 NGOs collaborate with one another, coordinate, exchange information, exchange resources, exchange financial liabilities, I think there is more successes that they could see compared to a single NGO sometimes working in a challenging field. So this challenge of bringing various NGOs working under various sectors under one common platform, whether they can exchange with one another, at least electronically and then physically, could be a big boost to the NGO movement in India. There is a lot of myths about NGOs in India, whereas there is a mistrust about them. There a few bad apples in a bag should not be taken or considered that the whole bag of apple is bad, because by cutting out NGO services, because some of them have been malicious or they had bad intentions, but not allowing or not accessing other NGO activities and associations, India is actually losing out on the services that they could get on the ground. Say, for example, the toilet movement, the use of sanitary pads and other things. This door-to-door campaign could not extensively done only by the ASHA workers of the government. Education, child marriages, awareness about women empowerment, genital mutilations, various other early child marriages, trafficking of women in particular areas in eastern India. All these are very challenging areas, and if NGOs would exchange resources with one another, they could become a formidable force. This is what I believe. Everyone does not have a contact or expertise in every areas, but some has some contact, some expertise somewhere. So these some gaps that we have, if various NGOs start organizing and coordinating and working together in cohesion, their target or their objectives of reaching out to the people would have been great. I do not know whether our Madam Sutopa has joined us today. She is also associated with a lot of mental health and education awareness campaigns through an NGO called Touching Lives. She has also been associated with ECO, another NGO, and they exclusively work on promoting mental health and wellness. Like, as we have discussed in various other forums here, even in Ayush, that the mental health in India is deteriorating fast. People are suffering from anxiety, people are suffering from depression, people are undergoing suicidal thoughts, losing hopes. But these changes in swings and moods could be easily changed by listening to someone who has solutions to the daily life problems. It is not always possible to reach for an individual to reach counselors or for going for psychological counseling or to a psychiatrist, because there is a social stigma associated with psychological diseases or disorders. People are not very keen to visit psychiatrists or psychologists. But an NGO could be an early intervention agent. If you know what are the do's and don'ts of dealing with the best practices of mental health, wellness, and well-being, then you prevent yourself from long-term medication and other challenges, or losing out on family relationships and stuff, because you are aware, okay, this is not, I am not the only person suffering from this. There are other people who has had similar feelings, similar experiences, and these are the solutions, these are the steps that I could follow. I mean, if it is the crisis critical, you'd have to go to a doctor, but before that, around 70% of us could save ourselves just by working with people who are trained in mental health and awareness, just by knowing that there are other people who are suffering in the same way as you are, and there are preventive measures that you can do, there are activities that you can do, there are association or organizations that you can go upon. This small information is humongous for many, many families, for many, many individuals who are suffering from loneliness, anxiety, depression, all other kinds of challenges of mental health and well-being. And they have been working extensively, working on these. So it is very, very important that we encourage NGO growth in various sectors, be it is in education sector, be it in economic empowerment or socio-culture, socio-religious, socio-political wings and stuff, to make people educate, aware, be sensitive about certain issues, to learn about the do's and don'ts, whether it's about health, whether it's about social norms, whether it's about politics. NGOs could do outstanding work, and particularly with respect to various survey works that the NGO members could do by working on their field. If you suddenly decide to go and do a survey outside the urban areas, in rural areas, looking for important issues, you would find that no one is even ready to answer you. They do not like answering you to the questions, but these surveys are important. But if you have trained NGO members who have walked in these areas for many years, they have built a relationship, they have built a trust with all these communities for a long time. And then because they know you, and if you integrate and collaborate with a new NGO which is working on a survey, knowing what are the challenges and problems that the communities are facing, they could become a great facilitator. Even for government, there are many areas in our country where the government is not looked upon as a very friendly agency or agent, and there is a locking of door or shutting of door in front of the government agencies. In those cases, the government can take help of the NGO members who have been working for long years in those particular communities, in those particular isolated areas or hard to reach areas, because the NGOs, by working there for a long time, has already opened a door of opportunity. So the government needs to work in close association, hand in hand with the non-government organizations in many cases and areas. It is not possible for any government to reach every nook and corner of our nation and to cater to every citizen of the country. So to facilitate these services, to facilitate these opportunities to everyone living within our international boundary, we are bound to work with non-government organizations to help and facilitate the government or even non-government initiatives to reach, so that they can get the benefit to the best of their ability. So this is how the NGOs have been building. There are challenges while working in this field. It is not always very easy to operate with an NGO. But if we continue to work together, if we continue to build and foster this relationship among various NGOs, build cordial relation between government and non-government agencies, it is bound to pay back, as it has paid back extensively in an adjoining country like Bangladesh, where today the NGO is one of the major employment generator beside the government. Hundreds and thousands of small, big, and medium scale NGOs are operating in various sectors in Bangladesh, and they have employed a significant amount of the youth in Bangladesh who works on various social, economic, cultural, and education sectors in close association with the NGOs. So with new employment schemes coming up into the mind, it should be the best interest of the government to promote NGOs to take out initiatives and be an harbinger or messenger for the government initiatives to various communities, various sections of the society, and to various far-reaching parts of our country, to reach and provide them with the best available facilities in various sectors by integrating government with the non-government organizations or the NGOs. So long life to NGO for their wholehearted support, and I see that the NGO sector is going to boom and increase in the coming years, even in India. And in spite of the small challenges that we have, it is going to become one of the significant bread earner for many families down the line if they are working towards positively towards achieving their goals and objectives. Thank you very much. Once again, it has been a great opportunity to share on the Ayush platform, and I will look forward to work together again in the near future. Thank you so much. I am concluding my talks here. Thank you, and
Thank
over
you.
to
Thank
Professor
you.
Sharma.
Thank you very much, Sakarji. Tomorrow is Science Day and Rare Disease Day. We would like to welcome you both tomorrow
Sure.
also.
Kindly put it around 10:30 p.m. for me, as because there will be a lot of programs tomorrow where I need to deliver lectures. So if it is a little late, it will be easier for me to accommodate. Thank you very, Professor
Okay.
Sharma.
Tomorrow, in which program you will be there?
I will be morely on the National Science Day part.
No. In which program you will be there
Oh, there
tomorrow?
is a lot of program of, like, like there is a lot of NGOs which are holding programs like the some Science Association of Bengal, Indian Science News Association, Birla Industrial and Technological Museum. I have usually worked with them. I'm also their member, and because it's Science Day, so they have activities and programs with students both from primary, secondary, and tertiary institutions all across. So I have kept the day free, particularly during daytime, to cater to all these NGOs who has requested me to be present. So I will be back. But if it is kept a little late, it will be convenient for me to join in the ICE platform too. I would like to share what Science
Okay.
Day means for us.
For the day, please communicate your program if possible. We can meet there also.
Okay, okay. Sure. Will do. Thank
Agnihotri,
you.
sir.
Really, it's a great submission by Dr. Sekat Suji on the point of NGO and its role. Really, if we think it on a wider sense, NGOs are playing a wonderful role in support of the government policies, which have been deeply narrated by Dr. Basuji with the help that not only in our country, in our neighbor country like Bangladesh, Bhutan, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka, they are also having the same type of scenario to fulfill the government policies and give the benefit to the outreach persons living in the remote area or the far off place from the city capitals. So in this way, government, these NGOs are really playing a vital role. Actually, NGOs are working a lot for 1 or 2 or 3 years regularly, and on the basis of this whole workings and album and recording, the government start giving some sort of financial aid and support to perform their duties in a better way. And really, there are certain good active NGOs where the government is having a little bit dependency upon them because they are taking the policies of government and executing to the sector where it is not reaching. So in this way, it has got a wonderful work and giving the support to the fulfillment of the government policies. So this is a good topic, and that's why it's a day known as the NGOs Day. And in Uttarakhand itself, I think the number of NGOs in hundreds. Of course, uh, always there is a bad part used to be so a fake NGOs were removed by a great survey after becoming uh, this Uttarakhand state independent from Uttarakhand since 2000. So it is also very important to make awareness that where are the good NGOs working their duties and giving the benefit to the sector concerned, and those who are only running on the paper. So it's also important that to see that NGOs must do their work uh, practically so that the needy will be benefited. These are a few words from our side, and I think our guest speakers have given their talk. Dr. Neha Bhatt and Professor Shukla is also with us, and they can also add on some experiences in this concern that the how AYUSH can be given a good, say, speed for the extension of the AYUSH related services by the help of the NGOs. I think these persons may also be called Professor Nishan Shukla sir, you would like to say something in this connection on this topic? Because
नमस्कार सर,
every,
नमस्कार।
namaskar, namaskar.
नमस्कार।
Everybody has its own experiences in this regards. Yes, sir.
आयुष के लिए जितनी भी कामकाज हुए उसमें एनजीओज का एक इम्पोर्टेंट रोल अभी तक जो है ये रहा है। और अगर हम गुजरात की ही स्पेसिफिकली बात करें तो गुजरात में ऐसा है कि हेल्थ केयर डिलीवरी सिस्टम यूजुअली जो है ये फ्री एक्सेसिबल जो है ये होती है। और जितने भी धर्म संस्थाएं हैं, जितने भी नॉन प्रोडक्टिव ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस हैं, नॉन गवर्नमेंटल ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस हैं, ये वन वे और द अदर ये आयुष डिस्पेंसरी को चलाते हैं, आयुष आयुर्वेद मेडिसिन भी बनाते हैं और ये डिफरेंट कैंप्स वगैरह करते हैं। इफेक्टिवली इनकी जो है ये रीच काफी हद तक जो है ये रहती है। और जो सबसे निचला तबका है हमारा, लोअर मिडिल ग्रुप, लोअर इनकम ग्रुप या इकोनॉमिकल पुअर सेक्शन को ये वहां तक इसकी जो है ये रीच बनी हुई है। तो हेल्थ केयर की अगर हम बात करते हैं तो एनजीओज का एक इम्पोर्टेंट रोल हेल्थ केयर प्रोविजन, प्रोवाइडिंग दी हेल्थ केयर सर्विसेज उसमें है, मेडिकल केयर सर्विसेज में है एक। सेकेंडली जो रोल हम एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हैं इन द नियर फ्यूचर, क्योंकि एक करेक्ट इंफॉर्मेशन केवल मेडिसिन देना यहाँ तक जो है ये अगर एनजीओ अपने आप को सीमित कर लेंगे तो कहीं ना कहीं इससे आयुर्वेद को नुकसान होगा। उसकी जगह पर जिस प्रकार से अवेयरनेस क्रिएट की जा रही है अलग अलग डिसऑर्डर्स के लिए, अलग अलग मेडिकल कंडीशंस के लिए हेल्थ केयर को किस प्रकार से इम्प्रूव किया जा सकता है, तो इनकी रीच हमेशा जो है ये गवर्नमेंट सेक्टर से ज्यादा रहती है। और एक प्रॉपर इंफॉर्मेशन अबाउट आयुर्वेद और साइंटिफिक आयुर्वेद, यूजेबिलिटी ऑफ आयुर्वेद सोसाइटी में ये करें तो आयुर्वेद से इसका जो है ये फायदा होगा। तीसरा, रिसर्च का जो बेस है, क्योंकि हमारे पास एविडेंस बेस जो है ये क्लिनिकल है और इस क्लिनिकल एविडेंस बेस या फिर ये इस क्लिनिकल डेटा को हमें जो है ये इनपुट रिसर्च इनपुट्स में जाने के लिए जो भी एनजीओज हैं अगर वो अफोर्ड कर सकते हैं तो ये थोड़ी साइंटिफिक रिसर्च भी इस पर जो है ये हो सकती है। तो एनजीओज क्या रोल केवल यहाँ तक उनको सीमित रखने की बजाय अगर इसमें भी इंटरेस्ट लेकर के आए और आयुर्वेद का रिसर्च आयुर्वेद के तरीके से ही हो, क्योंकि अगर कोई भी जो रिसर्च कर रहा है तो वो अपने साइंस को भी बढ़ाएगा। अगर हम ये कहते हैं कि थेराप्यूटिक फास्टिंग आयुर्वेद में है पर उसके लिए 3 साल पहले नोबेल पुरस्कार मिला था, उसकी क्रेडिट आयुर्वेद को कभी नहीं मिली है। हम उसको जो है ये समझते हैं, पर हमें अपना रिसर्च अपने तरीके से अपने सिद्धांतों के आधार पर हमें करना पड़ेगा। हमारी इंडिपेंडेंट रिसर्च डिजाइन के आधार पर करना पड़ेगा और उसमें कहीं ना कहीं जो रीच एनजीओ की है जहां से ये क्लिनिकल डेटा हमको मिलता है, उस क्लिनिकल डेटा के आधार पर अगर हम इस चीज को आगे ले जाते हैं और एनजीओ अगर ये काम करते हैं तो केवल हेल्थ केयर प्रोवाइडिंग ही नहीं पर एक साइंटिफिक अप्रोच के साथ इसका जो है ये हमको फायदा मिल सकता है। अगर आयुर्वेद बढ़ेगा तो हर कोई बढ़ेगा और ये आयुर्वेद को हम केवल भारतीय चिकित्सा पद्धति या भारत की सीमाओं तक हमें बांधने की बजाय विश्व फलक पर उसको ले जाने की जरूरत है। आयुर्वेद फॉर नेक्स्ट सेंचुरी, इस थीम के साथ अगर एनजीओ आगे बढ़ते हैं तो मैं समझता हूं ये सबसे ज्यादा जो है ये उपकार का कार्य जो है ये आयुर्वेद पे होगा। थैंक यू वेरी मच सर।
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू। आपने जो अपनी बात रखी आयुर्वेद के क्रम में, आपने बताया कि हेल्थ केयर प्रोवाइडर्स की हैसियत से जो एनजीओ काम कर रहे हैं, ऑनेस्टली साथ में तो बहुत ही अच्छा है। लेकिन आपने ये शब्द कह के ही मेरे को एक बात के लिए और चिंतन के लिए याद दिलाया कि कुछ ऐसे एनजीओ जो हैं वो गो सेवा और गोधन के संरक्षण, सुरक्षण और विस्तार के लिए भी काम कर रहे हैं। और निश्चित सी बात है, वह आयुष के लिए, विशेष रूप से आयुर्वेद के लिए अप्रत्यक्ष और प्रत्यक्ष रूप से सहायक ही है। जैसे कि गौमूत्र को उपलब्ध कराना हमारे आयुर्वेद की अनेक औषधियों के निर्माण के लिए आवश्यक होता है। साथ साथ उसमें जो काऊ डंग के से केक बनाते हैं या बहुत सारी अगरबत्तियां बनाते हैं, जो वायु प्रदूषण के लिए, वातावरण के न केवल सुगंधि के लिए बल्कि वातावरण के प्रदूषण दूर करने के काम आता है। कंडे हमारे जितने बनते हैं काउडंग केक, वो हमारे गजफुट वगैरह में जो हल्के स्तर पर या ग्रामीण क्षेत्र में या लघु व्यवसायियों के लिए आज भी गजफुट में काम आते हैं। यद्यपि इलेक्ट्रिक फर्नेस से अलग बात हो गई। तो जो हमारे गो सेवा और गोधन सेवा के तहत जो हमारे एनजीओ काम कर रहे हैं, वो भी प्रत्यक्ष और अप्रत्यक्ष रूप से आयुर्वेद के आयुर्वेद के लिए विशेष रूप से बहुत सहायक हैं। और उसके बदौलत ही हमको अपने आयुष के लिए जो हमें औषधि द्रव्यों के शोधन के लिए गोदुग्ध चाहिए होता है, गोघृत चाहिए होता है, गोमूत्र है, गोबर है, इनके सभी जो गोधन सेवा से ही संबंधित है। तो ये बहुत बड़ा एक और भी विषय है हमारा वे एनजीओ जो कि गोरक्षण, गोवंश संरक्षण और गोधन सेवा से जुड़े हुए हैं, वो हम भी हमारे लिए आयुर्वेद में आयुष के आयुर्वेद सेक्शन के लिए तो विशेष रूप से बहुत बड़ा सहायक सिद्ध हो रहे हैं। और ये बड़ी अच्छी परंपरा है। इससे न केवल स्वस्थ व्यक्तियों को दुग्ध और दुग्ध के विकार प्राप्त होते हैं, बल्कि गाय से प्राप्त होने वाले गोमूत्र और गोमय भी हमारे विभिन्न कामों में उपयोग होने के लिए इन एनजीओ के द्वारा ही और इनके द्वारा किए जाने वाले अथक प्रयास जो हैं, जिनमें कि गोधन संवर्धन और गो संपदा को सुरक्षित रखना आता है, समय समय पर उनको होने वाले रोग या उनका प्रॉपर फूडिंग जो है, उनका सही ढंग से उनका खाना वगैरह मिलने के लिए जितनी भी सेवाएं हैं, वो एक अलग ही अपना जो कहना चाहिए प्रभाव मार कर आती हैं। तो आज की तारीख में गोधन और गो संरक्षण से जुड़े हुए एनजीओ भी उतने ही सराहनीय प्रयास कर रहे हैं। और बहुत अच्छा है, मिलजुल के आयुष और आयुर्वेद के लिए भी
नेहा जी भी हमारे साथ हैं सभी।
हम डॉक्टर नेहा जी को भी आमंत्रित करते हैं उनके अपने विचारों के लिए, और खासतौर से उनके केनिया में एनजीओ किस ढंग से कैसा क्या काम कर रहे हैं, जिससे कि आयुष को कुछ आगे प्रोग्रेस मिल सके, बढ़ावा मिल सके। डॉक्टर नेहा जी नमस्कार।
हाँ जी सर, नमस्ते सभी को मेरी तरफ से। सर मैं इस पे ज्यादा तो कुछ नहीं बोल पाऊंगी, बट हाँ यहाँ पे एनजीओज हम लोग काफी, मैं खुद ही एनजीओज के साथ काम कर रही हूँ। और यहाँ पे ज्यादातर जो है वो यूएन्स के जो एनजीओ वगैरह होते हैं वो ज्यादा काम करते हैं, वो ज्यादा सपोर्ट करते हैं इस कंट्री को, क्योंकि अंडर डेवलप्ड कंट्री है अभी। एंड बहुत ज्यादा सपोर्ट इनको बाहर की कंट्रीज से ही मिलता है हमें, हम जब इनके साथ काम करते हैं। कुछ इंडियंस के एनजीओज भी हैं जो ज्यादा सपोर्टिव हैं इस कंट्री में। और इससे ज्यादा आई डोंट नो व्हाट टू से नाउ।
आपने इनको नोटिस लिया, उनकी सेवाएं देखी हैं, उनका वर्क
हाँ सर, मैं खुद
देखा,
इनके,
उनका
मैंने
आउटपुट
बोला
देखा
ना,
है
मैं खुद इनके
जी।
साथ काम करती हूँ।
गुड।
और क्योंकि क्या होता है ना, कई बार फंड्स की कमी वगैरह लोगों के पास यहाँ रहती है, तो इनको सपोर्ट
जी
करने के लिए जो बाहर से यूएन वाले वगैरह हैं वो ज्यादा सपोर्टिव हैं इन सब चीजों में। जैसा कि मैंने आपको लास्ट टाइम बताया था कि हम लोग ज्यादातर यहाँ के HIV की प्रॉब्लम बहुत ज्यादा है, और लोग बहुत रूरल, हाँ जी, बहुत रूरल एरिया से होते हैं, जिनकी लैंग्वेज समझना, इनको समझना, इट इज वेरी हार्ड इवन टू टॉक टू देम। उनको छूना भी बहुत बड़ा, बहुत एक एक मिशन है।
सोशल प्रॉब्लम जी।
हाँ, इनको पहली बात बुलाना अपने साथ के, आप आइए हम आपको फ्री में ये चीज करेंगे,
हाँ
उसके लिए भी इनको मनाना, इट्स अ वेरी बिग डील। तो इसमें एनजीओज बहुत बड़ा काम करते हैं, क्योंकि वही लोग जो हैं वो इनके रूलर्स के साथ जाते हैं, इंटरप्रिटेटर्स लेके इनसे बात करते हैं, इनको समझाते हैं, कई बार इनको लालच देना पड़ता है तभी आते हैं, अदरवाइज ये आते भी नहीं है।
सही
तो
बात।
हम लोगों ने सर इनके साथ काम किया है कुछ सालों से, मैं खुद काम कर रही हूँ। मैंने पहले भी जैसे बताया है कि विदाउट मेडिसिन हम लोगों ने ऑलमोस्ट 500 से ज्यादा HIV पेशेंट को ट्रीट किया है। और 200 250 तक जो पेशेंट है वो अब बिल्कुल ठीक है, बिना मेडिसिन वगैरह के, कुछ नहीं लेते हैं। तो यस सर, बहुत से एनजीओ यहाँ काम करते हैं। और काफी सारे इंडियन की तरफ से भी बहुत सपोर्ट है। जैसे अभी नरेंद्र मोदी जी भी जो हमारे पास हमारी कंट्री में 2 बार विजिट कर चुके हैं, उन्होंने
जी।
काफी डोनेशन किया इस कंट्री के लिए।
हम्म।
तो या इंडिया से भी बहुत ज्यादा सपोर्ट मिलता है। कुछ इंडियंस जो हैं उनके खुद के एनजीओ हैं, वो बहुत ज्यादा यहाँ बहुत बड़ा रोल करते हैं। जैसे अभी एक बार हमारे यहाँ क्या बोलते हैं, एक मॉल में अटैक भी हुआ था, तो उसमें जितने इंडियन एनजीओज हैं, इन्होंने सब लोगों को मतलब बाहर निकालने की पूरी ताकत के इनसे कैसे बचाएंगे, पूरा फूड सप्लाई उतने लोगों के लिए, जितने वर्कर्स थे अंदर, जितने लोग फंसे हुए थे। बहुत अच्छा, मतलब काफी यहाँ यूनिटी बहुत है इंडियंस की भी। तो इट इज रियली हेल्पफुल।
चलिए चलिए, तो एक बात तो तय है कि आप जब किसी भी एनजीओ से जुड़ी हुई है, इसका मतलब एक बात तो तय होगी कि एनजीओ अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं, तभी आप उनसे एसोसिएटेड हैं। और सफरिंग ह्यूमैनिटी में तो जिस जिस पहलू, जिस aspect को भी आप पकड़ लें, जो नीड नीड दिखाई पड़े उस जनता में, वो काम करते हैं। बहुत बड़ी बात आपने कही कि एचआईवी से पॉजिटिव वाले केसेस को समझना करना। जैसे छोटे छोटे बच्चे टॉफी चॉकलेट के उसमें आते हैं, तो लोगों को ये रहता है कि चलिए हमारा 1-2 घंटे इन्वॉल्व होंगे, तुमको लंच पैकेट या कोई ब्रेकफास्ट या कुछ ऐसा मिल जाएगा, जो एक थोड़ा सा
हम्म।
उस ग्राउंड पर वो तभी वो टर्न
और
अप होंगे। जी।
एक चीज मैं सॉरी सर मेंशन करना भूल गई, एक एचआईवी के ऊपर हम लोग काम कर रहे हैं, और एक स्पेशल चाइल्ड है, उसके
अच्छा
काफी
अच्छा।
सारे बच्चों को हम लोग ट्रीट करते हैं, क्योंकि यहाँ ये
बिल्कुल।
ना लैक ऑफ न्यूट्रिशन की वजह से बहुत ज्यादा, और लैक ऑफ नॉलेज की वजह से।
मतलब मेल न्यूट्रिशन बना रहता है।
हाँ हाँ हाँ। तो उसके लिए भी बहुत सारा यूएन का, इनका एनजीओस का बहुत ज्यादा सपोर्ट है। और या वी आर डूइंग गुड, वी आर डूइंग जॉब्स इन
वो
रूरल एरिया।
फाइनेंशियली उतना स्ट्रांग नहीं है, या गवर्नमेंट उतना
नहीं,
इनको केयर नहीं करती, जो स्लम एरिया में या दूसरे जो सफरर हैं, वहाँ गवर्नमेंट की तरफ अपनी तरफ
गवर्नमेंट
से
सर, गवर्नमेंट यहाँ की ना बिल्कुल सपोर्टिव है ही नहीं, करप्शन बहुत ज्यादा है,
अच्छा अच्छा।
सपोर्टिव बिल्कुल है ही नहीं। ऐसा बोले कि आप गवर्नमेंट को कुछ लेना देना ही नहीं है इन सब चीजों
नहीं
से
वो तो
यहाँ।
ठीक है, लेकिन वो एक पॉपुलेशन कंट्रोल के लिए फिर कोई चीज कोई डेराइव चलता हो,
नो 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 यू, यहाँ
वो भी
पे जो
नहीं।
रूरल एरिया वगैरह में, उसमें आप पॉपुलेशन कंट्रोल जैसी कोई चीज सुन ही नहीं सकते।
फिर तो
ऐसा
नेचुरली
कुछ
फिर
है ही
तो
नहीं।
कंडीशन हमेशा अनकंट्रोल्ड ही रहेगी व्हेन देयर
हाँ,
इज
ऐसा
नो
कुछ है
रूलिंग
ही
लाइक
नहीं।
दैट। अरे, तो स्केर्सिटी भी है, लिविंग की जो कम्युनिटीज है वो भी नहीं है, ऊपर से मैंने कोई बर्थ कंट्रोल पर भी कोई वो नहीं है, तो नेचुरली सी
बिल्कुल
फिर
नहीं सर,
तो
बिल्कुल नहीं।
अनकंट्रोल सिचुएशन। तो बहुत बड़ा
तो
रोल
या
बन बढ़ जाता है, एनजीओ का रोल और अधिक बढ़ जाता है, अगर वो कायदे से फाइनेंशियली किसी भी और दूसरे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से सपोर्ट मिल जाए, या
से
किसी भी
यहाँ पे तो
नेबर गवर्नमेंट से।
कई बार तो जो लड़कियां हैं, बच्चियों को सैनिटरी पैड्स प्रोवाइड करना ही एक बहुत बड़ा काम होता है, क्योंकि यहाँ पे तो वही
नहीं।
लोगों को वो पता ही नहीं है।
हाँ हाँ, जब पता भी हो तो उनकी कैपेबिलिटी से बाहर है, ऐसे में तो फिर करप्शन ही
कैपेबिलिटी से
बढ़ता है
बाहर है,
कि
हाँ।
अगर
तो
दूसरे
कई बार हम लोग क्या करते हैं ना,
वही तो
कम्युनिटी
अगर
से ही अर्ज करते हैं कि आप लोग जैसे मतलब आप अगर पॉसिबल है तो एक एक पैकेट भी ले आइए करके, मतलब ये छोटी छोटी जगह
बनवाइए।
पे स्कूल्स में जाके
हाँ
हम लोग डोनेट
हाँ,
करते
नहीं वो तो
हैं।
रॉ मटेरियल ला के और हाइजीनिकली बनवा दिए जाएं, तो उनको फिर
हाँ, अभी यस, एक सोसाइटी ने हमने ये भी शुरू किया, उसमें मैं इन्वॉल्व नहीं हूँ, लेकिन थ्रू समवन ऐसा शुरू किया है कि वॉशेबल बनाया जाए,
जी
जिससे कि आप बार बार तो जा नहीं सकते
जी,
देने के लिए।
बिल्कुल।
तो या
हाँ
इट इज अंडर अंडर बजट,
हाँ, तो
एंड
रीयूजेबल हो
पीपल
जाएगा उसको
कैन,
प्रॉपर।
गर्ल्स कैन यूज।
हाँ
यस,
हाँ, और
मल्टी
आज से
यूज, यस
थर्टी
यस यस।
थर्टी फिफ्टी 30-40 ईयर्स पहले तो रीयूजेबल घर में ही होममेड ओल्ड कॉटन पीसेस से बना के रखते, तैयार करते थे हाइजीनिकली, और
वही प्रोसीजर
डस्टिंग
सर यहाँ पे शुरू किया है एक एनजीओ
पाउडर
ने, दोज
वाउडर
आर
डाल के
इंडियन एनजीओ।
रख लेते थे। हाँ, ये भी एक सॉर्ट ऑफ ट्रेनिंग ही है, उनको अवेयर किया जाए उससे कि दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एंड दिस शुड बी केप्ट हाइजीनिकली इंटैक्ट, और हमेशा आगे काम आएंगे जब तक कि उनमें बिल्कुल ही डिस्ट्रॉय ना हो जाए। तो कम से कम
सर
कम कम
कई
बजट में
बार
काफी।
तो कई बार तो इनको स्कूल बुलाना भी बहुत बड़ा एक जॉब होता है।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल। हम्म। हाँ
स्कूल ही
वो
आना नहीं
थोड़ा सा,
चाहते हैं।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल।
तो सर
तो इनके
या
यहाँ कोई अपना, इनके यहाँ
सपोर्टिव
अपना
है
कोई
यहाँ बहुत सारी
नेशनल,
कंट्रीज।
कोई इनका अपना नेशनल डे, कोई और कुछ ऐसा बनाया जाता है कि जो कॉमन मैन के लिए कोई एक रिजॉइस का डे आता हो,
हाँ है ना सर,
इस्टेब्लिशमेंट डे।
जमहूरी डे है, बॉक्सिंग डे है, इनके खुद के डे तो
अच्छा,
बहुत सारे हैं
उसमें
जहाँ
इन्वॉल्व
ये लोग
होते
याद
हैं
कर।
आराम से
हाँ हाँ सर, उसमें ये क्या है,
अच्छा,
हॉलीडे है।
उसमें इनको
नहीं, हॉलीडे है तो ठीक है, और इनको क्या है, चर्च का नाचना गाना थोड़ा होता है उस दिन, इनका ये चर्च का
हाँ,
फंक्शन चलता है। और
जी
जो
जी।
प्रेसिडेंट वगैरह है, ये लोग मतलब स्टेडियम वगैरह में आते हैं, तो इन लोगों को ये बहुत अच्छा लगता है। वहाँ
उस दिन
आना
उनको
सुनना।
उनका 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 रहना सहना, वेशभूषा, खाना, ये सब सपोर्ट में रहता है।
हाँ, वो सब ट्रेडिशनली होता है उस दिन, तो बहुत जोर
जी,
शार से होता है उस दिन,
चलिए
तो मतलब
कुछ
उस दिन का इंतजार
लाइफ
करते हैं,
में
कोई
कहीं
काम काज
पर
नहीं
लाइफ
होता।
में कहीं पर कुछ तो रिलैक्सेशन है एटलीस्ट। लेकिन वही फाइनेंस के
बस
लैकिंग में। चलिए, एनजीओज
उस
अपना
दिन तो
अच्छा रोल कर रहे हैं, तो लॉन्ग लिव एनजीओज वेर एवर एंड वेन एवर दे आर इन पोजिशन टू वर्क आउट इन एनी कंट्री, इन एनी सेक्टर,
दे आर
directly
ट्राइंग सर,
related to
या
the directly related to the population, because every living being is a human being having a direct connection with the God who is the creator. So let us be a part of a supporter in their life wherever we are in position to perform this thing. बहुत अच्छा लगा आप जुड़ी, आपने बहुत ही गहराई से केन्या की बातें बताई, और एनजीओ का रोल तो आप खुद ही अदा कर रही हैं। अच्छी बात है, बहुत बहुत आपका शुक्रिया, धन्यवाद है आपका।
थैंक यू
मैं
सर,
समझता हूँ
थैंक
चर्चाएं पूरी हो गई। हमारे आज से जुड़े हुए हमारे समस्त अतिथि वक्ताओं और डिस्कशन में शामिल हुए सभी लोगों का हम हृदय से बहुत बहुत आभार व्यक्त करते हैं, और इस विश्वास के साथ में ऐसे ही सपोर्ट हमें आगे भी मिलता रहेगा। आप लोगों का बहुत ही कीमती सपोर्ट है, अनुभव है आपका, और हम जनता के लिए ये अरेंज करते हैं जिससे कि हमारे इस
कल
यूट्यूब
साइंस
को।
डे है सर, और रेयर डिसीजेज डे।
जी जी जी,
तो साइंस डे पे और रेयर डिसीजेज पे यदि कोई बोलना चाहे तो मुझे जरूर बताएं। शेखर जी और सुपर्णा जी तो बोलेंगे, उसके साथ और भी कोई बोलना चाहे तो जरूर। लेकिन सुबह तक मैं सुबह डिजाइन बना।
आई थिंक मैं नेशनल साइंस डे पर कवर कर दूंगा। आई थिंक मैडम के लिए रेयर डिजीजेस ज्यादा अच्छा रहेगा, क्योंकि उसकी एक्सपर्टीज एंथ्रोपोलॉजिस्ट के हिसाब से है, तो वो रेयर डिजीज पे वो करे, और मैं साइंस डे पे मैं कर दूंगा, कोई बात
जी बढ़िया है,
बहुत अच्छा, बहुत
नहीं। ठीक
अच्छा।
है,
गुड नाइट।
ये अच्छा कि आपने स्पेसिफाई कर दिया, तो दोनों को सब्जेक्ट में अपना अरेंज करने में स्टफ अच्छा रहेगा।
यस 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 यस, ओके ओके, थैंक यू।
चलिए, आप लोगों का
थैंक
बहुत
यू।
बहुत हम शुक्रिया अदा करते हैं, आप लोग जुड़े, और हमारी आज की ये
कल
वेबिनार
मिलते हैं
संपन्न।
शेखर जी यदि पॉसिबल है।
जी
ओके ओके, ठीक
हाँ
है जी,
हाँ,
थैंक
मैं
यू।
शेयर कर दूंगा। ओके,
निशांत जी कुछ
सर
बोलना चाहते हैं? निशांत
सर कल रेड डिजीज
शुक्ला
पर,
जी कुछ कहना चाहते हैं? आइए, हाँ स्वागत है।
सर रेड डिजीज डे पर
हाँ
कल मैं कुछ व्यक्त कर सकता हूँ?
हाँ
अरे
हाँ,
स्वागत
कितना
है,
9 बजे?
स्वागत है।
स्वागत है, 9 बजे रखते हैं आपका वाला, साइंस वाला 10 बजे रख लेंगे, एज पर डॉक्टर बसु's रिक्वेस्ट है,
ओके
10
ओके,
हाँ
ऑनवर्ड्स।
हाँ,
जी
थैंक यू वेरी
ठीक है,
मच।
हाँ, नहीं ठीक रहेगा,
थैंक यू।
पहले
ठीक है,
9 बजे,
ठीक है,
9 वाली रख लेंगे रेयर डिजीज पर, और 10 बजे जो 10 सवा 10 बजे आएगी तब तक आप भी कंफर्टेबल हो जाएंगे, तो फिर दोनों हमारी अरेंज हो जाएंगे। ठीक है,
ओके।
थैंक यू सो मच।